Welcome to the AALNC annual business meeting. And I am so excited that you all are joining us today. I'm Jennifer Parks. I'm the current AALNC president for one more week. Today we're going to be reviewing 2025 outcomes with you, including the educational programming, the LNCC updates, membership and operations, and a budget review, as well as looking ahead to 2026. If you haven't already, I'll ask that you go ahead and mute yourself. That way we won't hear any background noise, and we'll take questions at the end. And at that time, you can put them in the chat or come off mute and then converse to ask your questions. So before we get into the meat of the meeting, I want to take a moment to introduce the 2025-2026 Board of Directors. So we have Tamara Carlin Bossier, our president-elect, who will be taking over next week. We have Karen Huff, our past president, Barbara Gaynor, our secretary and treasurer, Kenyatta Christmas, Tori Palavoda, Tommy Vaughn are our directors at large, and then our new role for our novice director at large, Maureen Ilya. So now I'm going to hand it over to our executive director, Marisa Streelman, to introduce the AALNC and AALNCCB staff.
Thank you, Jennifer. The AALNC and AALNCCB staff have been supporting both organizations since May 1st of 2025. These are your go-to people for all AALNC items, including membership and education, social media, and certification. So here you can see we have Jamie Blair, who's our membership and sponsorship manager. She answers many of your calls and emails into AALNC. We have Nancy Vela, our Director of Programs and Education. You'll hear from her next. But she puts together the wonderful programs for our members and supports our continuing education
I'm not leaving.
And we have Kathy Chamberlain, our nurse planner. She's a legal nurse consultant by day and assists with many of our educational offerings, including our mock trial at the 2026 pre-forum. We have Kendra Tuzon, our social media partner. You've probably noticed her work on our AALNC Facebook and LinkedIn pages. And we have Becky Daniels, our fractional chief financial officer. She assists AALNC with our budgets and finances monthly and annually. And our newest member, Isabel Stein, who is working as an administrative staff for AALNC, and you may receive emails from her from time to time. So now I'd like to turn it over to Nancy Vela for our education update.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Nancy Vela, and I am AALNC's Director of Education and Programs for our ANCC Provider Unit. For calendar year 2025, AALNC provided a variety of educational offerings. We kicked off the year with AALNC's immensely successful Jumpstart program. It's a combination of autonomous online learning with live interactive social sessions. A perfect experience for the adult learner. While Jumpstart offers learners the ability to study didactics in advance and then dialogue with high-performing legal nurse consultant professionals to discuss their most pressing questions, it also offers 6.0 ANCC Nursing Professional Development Contact Hours. In 2025, we conducted 3 Jumpstarts during the months of March, September, and November that embraced a total of 49 registered learners. I want to take 1 minute to thank our Jumpstart faculty, Judy Young, Robin Axtell, Jillian Talento, and Mary Flanagan, for their enthusiastic sharing of their knowledge. It takes a certain amount of willingness to be vulnerable during live interactive sessions, which you can't plan for every scenario, and they know what I mean about that. So thank you. At the end of April 2025, AALNC's highly anticipated annual forum was presented 100% virtual via the Zoom events platform. What an experience that was. While I personally agree with the multitude of our AALNC forum attendees, nothing beats an in-person engagement. The Forum 2025 online experience was successful in that 32 learners participated in the pre-forum and were eligible to earn 3.0 ANCC contact hours. 136 learners participated in the forum and were eligible to earn up to 15.4 ANCC contact hours. The wonderful thing about the AALNC Forum 2025 is that we recorded all of the April Forum sessions and offered them to be viewed online by registrants all the way through to August 1st. So learners could claim the maximum ANCC contact hours. Well, I would love to give you the names of all of our presenters and volunteers. Please know the commitment to AALNC's forum success is unparalleled. Throughout 2025, we offered numerous webinars. Our pre-recorded on-demand webinar library consists of a great breadth and depth of learning topics. Every year, we evaluate the current webinar offerings and add new webinars based on the knowledge gaps identified in our annual needs assessment survey. In 2025, AALNC offered 33 on-demand webinars. 1,448 registered learners took advantage of these educational activities and were eligible for ANCC contact hours. We also had the honor of hosting the immensely popular Dr. Stein's Standard of Care live webinar, which awarded 35 learners with 1.5 contact hours each. AALNC's 27-module professional courses continues to be the go-to for new and novice legal nurse consultants. These 27 modules offer up to 68.5 ANCC contact hours. In 2025, 172 learners took advantage of these professional course modules. Kathy Chamberlain is spearheading the evaluation of all 27 modules by enlisting micro volunteers who have the subject matter expertise and bandwidth to participate in brief, time-delimited projects. With only 2 months behind us in 2026, AALNC has been quite busy. I will be finishing my Director of Programs and Education staff role and volunteer work with AALNC in April. Marisa Strillman is actively receiving interested applicants. So there you go. Give it a try. Kathy Chamberlain will continue as the AALNC Nurse Planner. Get ready. AALNC has heard you. A new learning management system is in the works to replace the current software. This new system will be easier for our learning community to move from the main AALNC website in and out of the educational environment. 2 months ago, in January, 28 learners participated in Jumpstart. It was a phenomenal success, and we will announce the fall Jumpstart dates very soon. Okay, Forum 2026 is this month. March 11th, Wednesday, is the pre-forum mock trial. Attendees are eligible for 5.5 contact hours. March 12 and 13, Thursday and Friday, is the forum with over 20 educational sessions. There'll be vendors, exhibitors, sponsors, social opportunities, networking galore. I could go on, but you need to visit our website to truly appreciate what's going to be happening in Orlando next week. We have several already recorded new webinars ready for posting. And believe it or not, Forum 2027 is already being worked on. So before I wrap it up, I want to quickly thank the AALNC 2026 Forum Planning Committee. A big shout out goes to these folks, and I sincerely mean it. They not only have provided tons and tons of ideas, but they were willing to roll up their sleeves and donate a great deal of time to work on it together in teams and individually. They are truly committed to next week's forum success. This group of volunteers came together so many hours. So I really want you to realize that. And they are working very hard. They're caring and they have great perseverance. Now, I will hand the presentation over to one of my favorite legal nurse consultants, Jean Cooper, the AALNCCB chair, to discuss our LNCC update.
Hi, thanks, Nancy. Okay. So, hi, everyone. I'm Jean Cooper, and I'm the chair of the American Legal Nurse Consultant Certification Board, or AALNCCB. It's a mouthful. I'm here to give you an update about our program, especially over the last year. Okay, I'd like to introduce our board. There are 4 directors. Rhonda Sullivan, who is a past chair of our board, Annette Weisgarber, Leslie Bonsack, Angela Miller, and our public member is Diane Frisk. And now let's dive into the data. So in 2025, we had 28 new LNCCs with a passing rate of about 74% for the exam. We also had 54 LNCCs renew their certification, and this was a little over 50% retention rate for our recertifications in 2025. As we look at these numbers, the board continues to work on improvements to our system, policies, and processes to make the certification process seamless and convenient for our LNCCs. Looking into 2026, we already have, it's actually over 26 individuals signed up to take the exam, with at least 10 of those already having set a date. Next slide, please. When we started, we also started the LNCC retired designation in 2023. And as you could see, we have 13 LNCC retireds to date. If you're interested in learning more about this designation, reach out to me or info@aalnc.org. We ended 2025 with 432 LNCCs. The LNCC numbers have been trending downward slightly in the recent years, which means that we at the board need to do more work to improve our recertifications for LNCCs. The board will be looking into the data and putting together strategies to increase the number, which do include improved communication and receiving input from LNCCs, making it more convenient for them to let us know anything. So next slide. Here are a few of the updates in our program for the next year. We increased our testing window. So currently it's April 1st to June 30th, and then September 1st to November 30th. We'll be monitoring that to see if the change has impacted our numbers any. It's an increase in the convenience and flexibility for LNCCs to take the exam. Next, we have 96 LNCCs that are due to recertify this year. And those folks can recertify their credential by submitting their recertification package anytime before the deadline of October 31st. We'll be sending out reminder emails, but if you have any questions, send in your questions to info@aalnc.org. The staff has been wonderful to be able to screen those questions, but also they send them on to me as the board chair. So keep your emails coming. And our biggest initiative this year has been working on the LNCC test development. This process we actually started in 2025 with the call to our LNCC task force. We had multiple meetings, we completed offline work, and we conducted interviews of multiple LNCCs. All of this set us up for the job analysis survey, which I'll give you some information about in a minute. I would like to take a moment to thank the LNCC Job Analysis Task Force. They volunteered to meet often and offered their expertise and knowledge to improve the next LNCC exam. Next slide, please. So, as test development for LNCC continues, LNCC continues, lots of letters, huh? We ask you to complete the survey, the job analysis survey. So you can use that QR code. It takes approximately 15 to 20 minutes and will assist the board in ensuring that the next LNCC exam reflects the current scope of work performed by legal nurse consultants. We encourage all legal nurse consultants to complete the survey, including those who are currently certified and those who are planning to be. Responses from both groups are valuable and will help shape the content and focus of the next LNCC exam. The survey's been open for a little while and it will close on March 15th. So if you haven't already taken the survey, please do. After the survey is complete, we'll ask for volunteers. We'll ask for volunteers to help us with the next phase of the job task analysis. So if you're interested in that, this is the QR code for that engagement. Sign up to assist us with the final phases of job task analysis and or item writing for the next exam. Thank you for your interest in the certification program. And now I'll turn it over to Jennifer Parks for a 2025 membership update. Thank you.
Thank you to Jean for the introduction. And I'm going to turn our attention to membership and talk about our membership data for a moment. So as we look at the first slide here, we're looking back at membership numbers per month, like new members and existing members per month from 2023 to 2025. During 25, we saw an increase in membership towards the end of the year, and we were super excited about that and that momentum as we headed into 2026. And then in 2025, we ended the year with 1,278 members. And you can see that as compared to prior years, we had membership decline for about 5 years prior to that. We're working actively on strategies to increase our membership in 2026, and we've already put in place a few membership benefit updates to encourage new members and retain our current members. And speaking of membership or retention, one key metric that I really want to point your eyes to is the retention rate for 2025 of 60%. This is the highest retention rate that we've seen since 2019. This is a very big positive. And then as we look at year over year by month, we have a comparison of January of 26 and March of 26 compared to the past 5 years. So during the membership renewal period each year, it's typical for the membership to dip during that first quarter, and it builds again throughout the year. This particular slide showing the January and March of 26 shows the comparison and shows the growth. For example, in 2025, it took us until June to reach 1,000 members. But in 2026, we reached 1,000 members much sooner. And as of March 2nd, our current membership is 1,022. This is very encouraging data showing growth. So I'm going to switch gears for just a moment and talk about operations. So as Marisa mentioned in her introductions of our staff, the staff is all new since May of 2025, and I want to provide some context for that. For many years, AALNC operated under an association management company model. This is very normal, especially in the nonprofit organization world. So the management company served as AALNC staff, and they handled the day-to-day operations, including the finances and our programs. Unfortunately, though, operational costs were rising at a faster pace than our revenue was coming up to meet it. In an effort to address that dilemma over the past several years, the board made decisions to cut expenses wherever we could. Yet operational costs still persistently outpace the revenue. In order to cover our operational costs, we pulled from our reserves or our savings on an almost annual basis. Had we continued under our previous management model, AALNC would have dissolved around 2028. You can see on this slide, 2022 through 2025, those were budgeted losses or losses that we experienced. The 2025 number reflects the loss that was originally planned for when we did our budgeting cycle in 24. However, when our treasurer, Barbara, speaks next, she's going to review the final 2025 numbers, and you'll see how our actual results improved. This slide really is just a demonstration of why a change was needed in our management structure. And I wanted to give you some specifics for the operational expenses as we compare them year over year from 23 through 25 and then looking at current. Instead of me going over each one, I just want to point you to the fact that the management transition was realized May 1st of 2025. And with the exception of informational technology services, all other operational categories show a significant reduction. We can compare now our current annual operational costs to 2024 because that year was comparable in regard to full-time equivalent staff. 2024 operational costs were $561,870, and our current operational costs are $343,471. That alone is a savings of over $218,000 annually. Now that we've made the transition, we are returning to positive net gains in overall assets, and this is extremely encouraging for our organization. So with that, Barbara, I'm going to turn it over to you, our Secretary and Treasurer, and she's going to give the full 2025 budget update.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Barbara Gaynor here. So going on to what Jennifer was saying, I'm just so tickled pink to see that we are in the green. So if you're looking here at the 2025 budget comparison, this year was a transition in many ways, including our finances. But we were able to make up the differences in our budget by changing the way we were doing things to how we're doing them now. Many of our changes included our staff, website, community, and contract partners that have made the majority impact this year. Another highlight to mention in 2025 is that we did not need, as Jennifer said before, to move our funds from our reserve or our investment accounts into our operation accounts. This is a huge, huge thing because as you saw from the slides before, we were operating at a deficit. As my favorite word is, we were hemorrhaging. This is the first time in quite a few years that we have been able to maintain our operating account without having to dip into our reserves, and we are using our current revenue. Also, you can see that here in the total assets for 2025, it was a stronger year for us financially. Next slide, please. So revenue comparison. Looks kind of daunting, but hey, bear with us. The revenue from 2024 to 2025 remained around the same, with the majority of categories being the membership, our education, and our forum. That's where most of our revenue was coming from. However, next slide. Our expense comparison. Woohoo! 2024 to 2025. Does anybody see a difference? Expenses do show a slight different story from 2024 to 2025. Here you can see that there is a decrease in the administrative percentage by 15% and more transparency into where our funds are going and how they're being spent in each category. That is a big change for us. So, year over year, net assets. In this graph, you can see that our growth in net assets over the last 10 years. In 2025, we were up to about almost $100,000. Rest assured, AALNC is financially secure with the improvements that we have made this year. Then the growth that has been set up is able to have the flexibility to continue to make updates and improvements for the AALNC members in the years to come. Now, with that, I will let Tamra tell you everything. So, Tamra.
Thank you, Barbara. Hi, everyone. I'm Tamara Carlin-Bossier, your president-elect of AALNC, and I'm going to provide you with a very exciting updates, milestones and updates for 2026. So as we prepared for this meeting, we wanted to share with you the many different areas that AALNC has had positive changes for 2025. In membership, board of directors, technology, education, and certification. These are all areas and initiatives we are working together on to provide the best education, support, and value for our thriving LNC community. The new reorganized AALNC website is more user-friendly and was half the cost of the prior website. We supported chapter leaders with their initiative for ongoing monthly leadership calls to elevate chapter collaboration. We are also excited about the increase in volunteer opportunities resulting in depth of member engagement. So for the year ahead in 2026, we're very excited about our annual forum that's next week in Orlando. We're back to an in-person event, and we already have plans, as Nancy said, for the in-person forum in 2027. Building our sponsorships and partnerships with nursing organizations is a new focus. We are doing that we know will help us grow the awareness of legal nurse consulting and AALNC as well. We currently have 16 sponsors for our forum next week, 16. And that is thanks to our incredible management team. We will also continue to collaborate with and exhibit at nursing conferences, also new, like we did in 2025, to continue that momentum. From a technology perspective, our new mobile and event app is up and running, very user-friendly, and will keep you up to date with all events and the special interest groups anytime at your fingertips. I use my cell phone for everything, so I am thrilled to have the app working. As you can see, the biggest reason we focused on the 2025 and future financial status of AALNC was that it was imperative to be the best stewards of AALNC's financial resources. This was not done to use and to replenish the reserves and ensure. This was done to not use, but to replenish the reserves and ensure there will be ample funds to finance important and necessary future projects that will benefit and provide value for our members long-term, as well as to advance and stay competitive in the field of legal nurse consulting. By continuing ongoing reduction of operational costs, which we will always do, these initiatives further underscore the importance and the value of responsible financial stewardship. The Leadership Succession Committee has the important job of reviewing applications and interviewing potential future board members for the AALNC Board of Directors. For 2026 and 27, we have Kenyatta Christmas as our chair, and 4 members, Valerie Lane, Lisa Mancuso, Janelle Lee, and myself. I would like to take a quick moment to thank 2 of our outgoing Leadership Succession Committee members, Judy Young and Jennifer Parks. They both did a great job with interviewing and helping the committee in selecting strong candidates for the board for the last few years. Next, I would like to introduce the 2026-27 AALNC Board of Directors. We have Kenyatta Christmas as President-elect, Jennifer Parks as past President, Barbara Gaynor will continue as Secretary and Treasurer, and our Directors at Large, Tori Palavoda and Tommy Vaughn. We also have our new Director at Large, novice role, Maureen Elia, and our newest Director at Large, Robin Axtell, and myself as incoming President. We are so excited for this year's Board of Directors, and we look forward to another productive and rewarding year. Now we would like to say a teary goodbye and thank you to Karen Huff. Karen has served in a number of capacities over many years for AALNC and ALNCCB. She has continued to amaze us this year with her knowledge, her support, insights, and dedication in the role of past president. Not only did she agree to volunteer for this extra year on board, but she did it with her passion for AALNC and provided us with guidance and support in more ways, including the certification board along with the AALNC board. Thank you, Karen, from all of us here at AALNC. We know you will continue to be there for us in the coming years. Thank you to each and every one of you, our members, our volunteers, our colleagues, our friends, and our peers for coming today and being part of this exciting transformational year. Please reach out to AALNC and ALNCCB staff whenever needed.